How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to go over some of my top 4 base locations in DANNEMORA in the new game Vane. So here it is on the map. Starting off at my number 1 is going to be this location right here. It is right outside of the storage facility. In my opinion, it's a very good starting location for a bigger base, not only because it has this chain link fence, and depending on your game settings, you can put it whether or not zombies can actually climb over and break through it, or if they're going to be indestructible. So, like I mentioned before, I'm moving in personally here just because I'm a solo. I don't really care much for playing online right now. My name is Solo G after all. But over here, you can actually come in here and find your fuse box. This is a good little starting area for a solo like myself. Here towards the back, you do have a little bit of space. I might turn this into some gardening, depending or not whether I want to expand. Oh, there goes the deer right there. But yeah, I might turn this into, I might actually bring my ice container over here. You do have some propane, so you do have ample space to do whatever you want back here. Like I said, you do have a ladder also as well. You can build up, have a good vantage point. If you are playing with people, you do have this whole compound effect where you can actually base over here in these bigger boxes, and you do have this tower which you can actually climb up, use as a lookout maybe. All these lights work. You do have some extra propane tanks here. You can't use these tractors, unfortunately. I tried, but you can use these trucks, and the other car is provided in here. Here's my trusty ice cream van that I first got when I started the game. But yeah, this is a really great spot in my opinion. Maybe not the best. It's pretty hard to defend if you're doing PvP, but if you're doing PvE, it can be a really great spot for a clan. However many people can actually join a server, you can play with them here. But in my opinion, really great spot. Alright, so next off we have a location that's pretty good in my opinion. Not the best, but it's up there. You do have to take care of these doors, multiple ones. If you want to actually secure this spot, you might want to build a fence perimeter around the front just to make sure you're secure, especially if you're in PvP. But the strong selling point for this base location is the inside. As you can tell, there is a lot of loot here. There's a bunch of things you can scrap down, like these wires for electrical scrap. There's a bunch of crates, there's tool chests, toolboxes everywhere. There's an exit here to the right, and I believe there's one more to the left. But as you can tell, it's very big. So what I would do here, I would actually right there in the middle create one story and then put a second story up top and have an entire separate base up there. So it's a really good base for a bigger group of people. Now, not only do you have the exit like I mentioned over here, so you have 2 exits in the back you have to take care of, but other than that, you're pretty much secure, especially if you're just doing PvE. You know, you don't have to worry about people raiding your base. It's a really good spot. But overall, not my favorite location, but it is a strong point if you need more room or maybe just want to store extra vehicles. Completely up to you. Alright, so coming in here at number 3. This is a pretty good spot in my opinion, a little bit bigger than the one that I showed you where I am currently based at. It is a really good spot, not only because it has 2 garage doors, which means more space, more vehicles, completely up to you. It has a ladder here at the end, so up top you can build something up there if you want to, or to use it maybe even as a garden, a lookout, whatever the case may be. Here inside, there are zombies that spawn inside, so do be careful. They're pretty easy to take care of though, just hit them out of the way. I'll close the door real quick, take care of this one right here. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, a lot of space, store some vehicles, do whatever you want here. Dress it up like a home, completely up to you. You do have a bunch of tool chests, some shelves, a bunch of different things to actually get you started. Really good, strong base in my opinion. One door back there you have to take care of, but other than that, you do have a bunch of natural light that comes in from these windows. I wouldn't personally board them up because they're not going to be climbing up there unless you do have stairs or whatever. You know, obviously you do. Here in the back, you have a lot of gardening room, which is what I would personally do with this. Clear some trees, expand a little bit, do whatever you want, completely up to you. But overall, it's a really good spot in my opinion. You know, especially if you're solo, you want a little bit more room. Really good area. And here it is on the map. It is just the bottom right here of the ambient energy powerhouse. And the one base location that I mentioned earlier is just above it here in this location as well. Alright, so my number one spot just south of the ambient energy powerhouse right here on the map. Nope, it is not the powerhouse. It is actually behind me. These two buildings are, in my opinion, one of the strongest, if not best location you could possibly be. As a solo, even a duo, since there are two, you do want to be careful. Some zombies spawn. That is the location as number 3 that I previously mentioned. But like I said, you don't want to be careful with the zombies. They do spawn in here. Let me just pick this lock real quick. I like how it's like Skyrim a little bit. I think I got it. Oh, hang on, give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Alright, so yeah, as I mentioned before, just take care of the zombies. They're not too big of an issue. I love this sledgehammer, it's so OP. Okay, so yeah, this location, here it is. You have your fuse box right here, manage all your connections. You have a bunch of room in here. Like I said, it's a really great solo spot. Even if it's a duo, let me close the door real quick so I can show you. I like how the light reflects and it kind of actually like illuminates the building. You have one big light there, one there. You can obviously put more. This game's so good when it comes to customizing. So, like I said, you have a bunch of light, a bunch of room. You can make this a 2-story if you wanted to. You can have extra room is what I would do. You have a bunch of tool chests. You have a bunch of little tarps, you know, different shelves, bunch of little bolts and, you know, anything I guess you can imagine. I'm not going to check in here, but you have a bunch of different things, tool shelves, card jacks. Really great opportunity to actually have a pretty solid base here, I would think. My next playthrough, I might choose this location. I just wanted to share it because I try to find, you know, safety and security in whatever base I find in here. And so I feel like this is just really great overall. Almost impenetrable just because of the, you know, layout of the base. The only downfall is that you do have one door here, so you don't have a back door to escape if and when, you know, you are raided if you're doing PvP, or if you overrun with a horde in PvE. So you do want to be careful about that. But that's the only downfall to that. Like I say, you do have a second one over here, maybe a vehicle storage, have a main base in this location. But completely up to you. The doors are a little tricky. You gotta have to jump at them. There we go. But yeah, overall, my number 1 base spot. As always, if you found anything helpful in this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.